Iran's supreme leader just made one of the most dramatic moves in the history of the Islamic Republic. At 86 years old, Ali Khamenei is facing what many analysts describe as the largest U.S. military buildup in the region since the Iraq War. And now, in a stunning development, he has reportedly handed sweeping wartime authority to another figure inside the regime. This is not routine delegation. This is contingency planning at the highest level. And according to multiple reports, Khamenei has also instructed senior officials to prepare layered succession plans, naming multiple backups in case of assassination or decapitation strikes. Everything is converging at once. Explosions at military sites, protests reigniting, U.S. forces surging into theater, and Tehran bracing for something big. Let's break it down. It started with reports of explosions near military facilities, including incidents in western Iran and near Tehran province. Smoke rising, fires visible from residential areas. No official explanation. Some of these incidents reportedly occurred near sites associated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, the elite military arm responsible for missile forces, foreign operations, and internal security. The silence from Iranian authorities is telling. Are these accidents, sabotage, covert strikes? We don't know, but the frequency appears to be increasing. If you follow military strategy, force posture analysis, and geopolitical escalation tracking, make sure you're subscribed, because the next 72 hours could be critical. Here's where it gets serious. According to reporting cited by major outlets including the New York Times, Khamenei has delegated significant authority to senior leadership figures within the national security apparatus. This means operational oversight of military planning, diplomacy, and crisis management may no longer be handled directly by the supreme leader. In authoritarian systems, this kind of move usually signals one thing. The leadership believes escalation is possible, and they are preparing for continuity of command. Reports suggest Khamenei has outlined a layered succession structure, not just one successor, multiple layers deep. Why? Because Iran has already seen targeted killings of high-ranking officials in past regional conflicts. The regime appears to be preparing for a worst-case scenario, including decapitation-style strikes that remove top leadership in rapid succession. When a government begins structuring backups to the backups, that signals perceived vulnerability. At the same time, internal unrest is resurfacing. Iran has a history of protest waves intensifying around key cultural or religious milestones, including the 40-day mourning cycle in Shia tradition. University campuses have also historically acted as flashpoints. Any renewed protest activity now is happening under far more tense military conditions than previous unrest cycles. And unlike prior crackdowns that escalated gradually, reports indicate authorities are responding much faster this time. That suggests heightened regime anxiety. Now let's talk about what may be driving this fear. The U.S. force posture in the region has reportedly expanded significantly. Transport aircraft, air defense systems, fighter squadrons, and support assets have been moving into theater in a sustained flow, not a one-time surge. For comparison, similar force concentrations were seen during Gulf War, Iraq War. When that level of air power assembles, it is typically for a reason. Now, does buildup automatically mean strikes are imminent? No. Military deployments can serve as deterrents. But from Tehran's perspective, the historical precedent is not comforting. Iranian state media has released propaganda videos simulating missile strikes against U.S. bases in the region. Satellite imagery has reportedly shown repositioning of air defense systems, including variants of the S-300 missile system. There are also reports of short-range rocket systems being deployed toward western borders. At the same time, incidents involving friendly fire, including a reported misidentification of aircraft, suggest elevated alert levels and potential nervous trigger responses. When militaries become hyper-alert under pressure, mistakes increase. History has shown that. Then came statements from Donald Trump referencing alleged mass casualty figures from January unrest inside Iran. Publicly citing large death toll numbers does more than inform, it shapes political narrative. When leadership frames events as humanitarian catastrophe, it can influence domestic support for policy shifts. Whether that leads to action is another question. But rhetoric at that level matters. Right now, whom we are seeing three parallel tracks: military escalation and positioning, internal unrest inside Iran, leadership continuity planning at the highest level. That combination is rare. It doesn't automatically mean war, but it does mean both sides are preparing for scenarios beyond negotiation. And when preparations reach this scale, events can move very quickly. We'll continue monitoring developments closely. If you follow military strategy, force posture analysis, and geopolitical escalation tracking, make sure you're subscribed, because the next 72 hours could be critical.